Ever wondered why a cold treat can turn into a splitting headache suddenly? Ah, the infamous brain freeze. It's a familiar foe to lovers of ice cream, slushies, and other chilly treats. We've all been there, right? One moment you're savoring the sweet chill, and the next, you're clutching your forehead, wincing in pain. You might call it a cold headache or an ice cream headache, but whatever you call it, it's the same sinister sensation. Now, this isn't just a surprise attack from your dessert. It's a reaction that kicks in when you consume something super cold, super fast. Picture this. Every time you indulge in a frosty treat, it comes in contact with the roof of your mouth, the palate. And if it's too cold too fast, your palate cries out to your brain for help, setting off a series of reactions. It's a sinister sensation we all know, but why does it happen? Let's explore this. Every time you savor a bite of your favorite frozen dessert, it comes in contact with your palate, the roof of your mouth. Now, this might seem like an ordinary part of the eating process, but in reality, it's the very beginning of the icy headache we've all come to know as brain freeze. Picture this. You're enjoying a scoop of mint chocolate chip on a sweltering summer day. You're gobbling it down, trying to beat the heat, when suddenly you feel that familiar, sharp pain shooting through your head. Ouch, it's a brain freeze. So what just happened? Well, the moment your ice cream touched your palate, it set off a chain of events. The nerves in your palate, thrown off by the sudden chill, sent a distress signal to your brain. It's as if they're crying out, "Help, it's freezing cold in here." Now, your brain, being the command center that it is, doesn't take this news lightly. In response to this cold shock, it prompts the blood vessels in your brain to suddenly swell and shrink. This rapid expansion and contraction is what causes that throbbing sensation we all dread. It's a physiological reaction, a defense mechanism, if you will, aimed at restoring the temperature in your mouth to its normal state. So essentially, a brain freeze is your body's way of saying, "Slow down, buddy, you're eating ice cream too fast." It's a painful reminder that even something as delightful as ice cream requires moderation. And there you have it, the science behind brain freeze. It's a fascinating interplay of nerves, blood vessels, and temperature regulation, all triggered by a simple spoonful of ice cream. But as intriguing as this is, it still leaves one big question unanswered. How do we avoid this icy headache? Well, stay tuned, because that's exactly what we'll be covering in the next part of this video. So that's the science behind why we get brain freeze. But the question remains, how do we avoid it? The best way to avoid an ice cream headache is pretty straightforward. Eat your ice cream slower. But let's face it, sometimes the temptation to gobble down that delectable scoop of mint chocolate chip is just too overwhelming, right? That's when you get hit with that familiar icy grip clenching your brain. So what can you do? Well, thankfully, there's a surprisingly simple remedy. If you find yourself in the throes of a brain freeze, press your tongue against the roof of your mouth and hold it there. It may seem a bit peculiar, but trust me, it works. By doing this, you're essentially warming up your palate, counteracting the sudden chill that sent your brain into a tizzy. Keep your tongue pressed there until that throbbing sensation begins to subside. But prevention is always better than cure, isn't it? So how can we avoid finding ourselves in this chilly predicament in the first place? The key is moderation. Yes, we all love a good ice cream, popsicle, or slushie, but it's important to enjoy these treats slowly. Give your palate the chance to adjust to the cold temperature gradually. This way, your brain won't get the cold shock that leads to brain freeze. Another tip to keep in mind is to try and keep the cold stuff away from the roof of your mouth as much as possible. The less contact your palate has with the cold, the lesser the chances of triggering a brain freeze. So the next time you're enjoying a frosty treat, try keeping it on your tongue and away from your palate. So now you're armed with the knowledge to enjoy your ice cream without fear of brain freeze. Go forth and indulge. Remember, it's not just about avoiding discomfort, it's about savoring the deliciousness of your favorite cold treats. Because after all, who wants a side of brain freeze with their sundae? Enjoy your ice cream, stay cool, and most importantly, stay curious.